The fruit seller and his wife. Preface. Since there are always people who believe in conspiracies, from the perspective of a resident of Chiemgau, there is a pretty simple explanation. Here, the following story. Preface 2. Since many think I have prejudice against others, I want to say in advance that this story is made for everyone, regardless of gender. This guy, what was his name again? Oh yeah, I remember. A guy named Bartel, a solid-looking fruit farmer from Chiemgau with a round face and blinking eyes. He sold all the things he had harvested by the side of the road. You know, in one of those little booths. Sometimes he had strawberries, sometimes cherries. Other days he offered Mirabelle plums, apples or potatoes. And every single time someone purchased something from him, they had a little chat about their health and things that may have gone wrong lately. Bartel was a talkative and righteous person in his best years. People always enjoyed talking to him because of all the experiences he had throughout his life. He often had good advice for people who asked for it. But for himself, he didn't have any advice. His husband, a man named Bertie, had a tendency of crying about things. Listen, Bertie, we are in desperate need of a real store in Traunstein, and you could lease the acres out to the other people. There has not been any improvement in our lives for years on end now, and our old hut is continuously falling apart as well. It needs to be completely renovated. It's such always a pain with you. You don't even know what a screwdriver looks like. Bertie constantly annoyed Bartel with his incessant complaining, and he grew grumpier by the day. It is what it is. Some things are just not meant to be in the long run. On a wonderful early Tuesday morning, before going out to the field, Bartel went fishing on the Chiemsee in his rowboat. For him, this was his morning meditation. You can call it a coincidence, but on this special morning he caught a gigantic catfish. It was about 3 meters long. He reeled in the fish line and was about to pick the fish up to put it in the boat when it suddenly opened its mouth and started talking. Dear sir, leave me be. Throw me back in the water, and in exchange you can wish whatever you like, I promise. Oh, that suits me fine, thought Bartel, and he wished for a store in Traunstein and a fully renovated hut for himself and Bertie. That's exactly how he communicated it to the fish, and while throwing it back into the water, the fish shouted, "Your wish is my command." As he was going back to the same field work, he saw a bunch of strange people working there. Bartel asked, "What are you doing here?" And they replied, "Oh Lord, it takes forever and a day for you to understand, doesn't it? We are working for Bartel from Traunstein. You leased it out, didn't you?" All right, Bartel thinks to himself. That's me they are talking about. So my wish for a store in a renovated hut all came true. To Bertie, he just says, "Mission accomplished. You didn't think I could do it, huh? That's the kind of talent you can only dream of." Okay, he didn't have much time to chit-chat with his customers anymore because the people wanted to be served quickly when they appeared in his store. As it got closer to Christmas, Bertie approached Bartle and said, "So Bartle, now that you are a businessman, don't you think we should get our own apartment in the center of the city? On top of that, we need to expand our product range. And in order to do so, we need our own supermarket." "Oh, I am alone, not able to do that," Bartle mumbled. "Maybe I can find the catfish and try for another wish." Well, there is nothing that can go wrong anyways. The following Tuesday, he rode out onto the Chiemsee and casted out his bait and waited for a good 15 minutes. It was pretty cloudy and cold because winter was approaching. He was able to catch the fish again, and it said, "Dear sir, if you are looking for anything other than a fish, please just summon me with a rhyme verse, because every time I get baited, it destroys part of my mouth." "Yes," Bartle says, "we are in the dire need of a supermarket and our own apartment attached to it." "Well, your wish is my command. And if you can't come up with a rhyme yourself, just shout, 'All the way from the bottom comes a fish, and it will fulfill my dreams and my wish.'" Bartle rubs his eyes and thinks to himself, "Amazing." To Bertie, he just says, "Mission accomplished." Bartle just really likes his new life. Of course, he doesn't still have much more time for his customers because he needs to place orders and negotiate with the delivery people. He needs to write lists, pay slips, and file tax returns. The only thing he takes care of are the so-called business contacts. But he doesn't see any other way out. Next time he is at the Chiemsee, he rents a yacht and sails out onto the lake. It's a horrible stormy out here. The waves hit the deck and you can see the lightning and hear the thunder. All in all, it's just very bad weather. Bartle grits his teeth and shouts, "All the way from the bottom comes a fish, and it will fulfill my dreams and my wish." He also adds, "I can't deal with greedy Bertie." The fish comes up to the surface, rolls his eyes in the sight of Bartle and asks, "What, you again? Haven't you gotten enough? Luck has left you long ago." "What do you mean, luck?" asks Bartle. "We don't consider coincidences, we consider tables, profitable products and best conditions. This is bigger than something such as luck. We want to rule the world. They shall do as we say. That's what it's all about. And don't forget, you have promised me wishes for life. So on Tudor's agenda, it's the following. We want to be an international global player with influence on all relevant products of the world, all DAX companies, and on top of that, a palace at the Loire, staff included, of course." "Your wish is my command," screams the catfish and jumps back into the water with a big splash. The yacht makes it back to shore with the last bit of strength. Bartle anchors the yacht and exits it with wobbly knees. He picks the best hotel but can't fall asleep. That does not occur very often these days. Most of the time he is in mid-air, either with a plane or his helicopter, not knowing if it's day or night. He only meets up with business partners if it's all necessary, and he hasn't seen Bertie in months, let alone any of his friends. All the board members complain about it being too late. It's such a scandal. The government wants to tax us. And some people don't care about us all. They only care about what they want. Some of them leave and do their own thing. They build their own parallel universes. They are self-sufficient, stubborn, and creative. We can't take that any longer. It's no funny anymore. We need permanent access to the minds of these people, so that no one can break formation. We need to control them, guide the government, and increase consumption, and all of that according to our rules. My God, there must be something we can do. You are the only one that always has a solution up your sleeve, Bartel. You are the man. You are the solution. And between you and I, some of them have already put in a bet on the stock market, of course. And don't forget, we are all in the same boat. We either sink together or profit together, so that we have enough for the future to come. Oh, Bartel thinks, this will be difficult this time. There are already enough people running around without a brain in their heads. But what we want is that the crap in their mind comes from us. And we want that it is absorbed into their brains without exception. I wonder if the catfish still exists. Well, it's worth the try. There is not much he can do other than deny me. I will fly there on the second Tuesday after New Year's. Tuesday have brought me luck thus far. The day he arrives at the Chiemsee is a very cold day. It's in the middle of winter and the lake is frozen. Well, it looks like I'll have to walk out there, Bartel thinks, and starts to walk. The ice gets thinner the closer he gets to the middle of the lake, but he dares to continue walking anyways and says the well-known verse, all the way from the bottom comes a fish and it has to accomplish my dreams. And he adds, the high society is not the right fit for me. His entire body shivers, and that's not just because of the cold weather. He is also scared that the ice will break, leaving him in the water. The catfish breaks the ice, his skull, and growls menacingly. That wasn't a very good rhyme this time. What do you need? You and the high society already have what you need, except life for infinity. But that's what the Reaper is for. No, Bartel says, trembling. We have forgotten something. We want everyone on earth, especially the governments, to only support our interests, and we want consumers to only want to buy the items we tell them to buy. In short, we want everyone to work the way we want them to work. We know the best way to go. Oh my God, the fish says. I didn't see that coming. I get you, mind control. Take a step back, it's already done. There is a great surprise waiting for you. And with a loud splash, the fish jumped back into the deep water. The ice breaks and Bartel falls into the cold water. Half of his body gets soaked. Bartel finds a big block of ice and gets himself back onto solid ice. He gets up and walks to shore. He sees Bertie waving at him. Once he is back on shore, Bertie praises him. Well, Bartel, you got lucky. That could have easily gone wrong. You did good though. By the way, we need to renovate our hut. I can't keep up with the heating, and the fruit booth needs to be maintained before the season starts. Together we should be able to get it done. The wind is blowing through all sorts of openings, We also need to think about what we want to grow next year because the freezing temperatures have done immense damage. Oh, since we are at it, since when do you go swinging in a suit and at high in the winter? We need to get you all dried up now. Bartle thinks, if I tell him what happened, he will deliver me straight to the next psych ward, tox as we call it. I think it's better to say nothing. The surprise from the catfish was successful. I wouldn't have expected it to have such a sense of humor. Maybe it's right, because we have definitely overdone things. But for now I am very happy, because I am alive, healthy, and on top of all, my mind is free. And to get back to the beginning of the text, Bartle could have easily been called Barbara, or Bertie could have been named Brigitte. That has nothing to do with anything.